Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Wilma Fauziyyah Budiman from class 5B English Education, and my student ID is 1908971. So, in this video, I will explain the method used in learning English for young learners in a webinar, which the title is English for Young Learners, Improve Your English Through Stories. In this video, I just want to explain, and I want to know whether the method is suitable and effective for learning for young learners or not. Okay. First of all, let's talk about scaffolding. I will explain the scaffolding used in the lesson. This time the learning was held online through the Zoom meeting application, and the media that used in this lesson is PowerPoint. This is used because this learning is held online because the COVID-19, and so the teacher shares a screen showing a PowerPoint containing a story. Okay, now we talk about the activities carried out in learning. From the title of this webinar, we can know the activities to be carried out is, yeah, that's right, reading a story. In my opinion, by reading stories, children will be more excited in learning because they are included in the story, and so they can feel how to be the character. The character in the story, they can feel it. Then in a story, it must also have an important message for the mindset of children. Characters in the story can be an example or role model for children. Through stories heard or read without realizing it, children have absorbed several positive traits, such as honesty, courage, hard work, mutual love for fellow humans, loving animals, being independent, and children learning to distinguish between good and bad things. Now, let's talk about the kinds of interactions. The kinds of interaction in the webinar are Q&A, two-way communication, and repeating what the teacher said. Q&A, which is done like, to know what picture or animal this is. Then the children will answer either by their own volition or appointed by the teacher. So when the children see the picture, they will know what the picture is. Two-way communication occurs when the receiver sends a response or feedback to the sender's message. In the process of two-way communication, the sender first sends the message to the receiver, so it is considered as a complete communication process. It can be like a teacher talking to his students, like, "How are you today?" or something like, "Are you happy today?" or "Hello everyone." And student will accept the questions, then answer it. and will refer the questions to the teacher, and this will be a two-way interaction. And the last is repeating what the teacher said. Okay, I will give an example how the children repeating what the teacher said. Do you see the picture in my PowerPoint? I will act as a teacher and student to give an example. Okay, everybody, can you repeat after me? Brave. Then the children will repeat what the teacher said, like brave. Now, so is this method suitable and effective to use in learning English for young learners? Before we answer the questions, let's talk about the characteristics and principles in learning English for young learners. Okay, let's talk about Piaget's theory. This is a characteristic children 7 until 12 years old, and this is in the concrete operation stage. The first one, during this stage, children begin to thinking logically about concrete events. They begin to understand the concept of conservation, that the amount of liquid in a short, white cup is equal to that in a tall, skinny glass, or for example. Their thinking becomes more logical and organized, but still very concrete. Children begin using inductive logic or reasoning from specific information to a general principle. Now, let's talk about principles in learning for young learners. The first, children have their own culture and learning preferences, they learn by way of physical activities. Third, have relatively short attention and concentration span, and should have a great deal of exposure to, engagement in, and support for the language they are learning. Learn naturally, often innovative in language form, but still have great inhibition. Children have a need for individual attention and approval from the teacher. Children often learn indirectly rather than directly. This is from Suharno 2017. The conclusion is, in conclusion, the method used in learning in this webinar is very suitable and effective for young learners. This is not just my speculation, but it is based on the characteristics and principles in learning for young learners that are suitable for the method, so that learning will be suitable and effective. When the method is accordance with the characteristics of the child, learning will run smoothly, as well as increasing students' abilities. After learning, there will be a quiz session, and it can help improve the abilities of students who originally couldn't do something and they become able to do. Who previously didn't know, they know, and then they can know. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you and see you next time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.